All right, I am back. We are going to work on our little pansy again. I've added a color, Goldenrod 1034, and this again is with our Prismacolors. If you've not been following along, please go back to video 1. This is video 2. I'm going to take this goldenrod and come in here and do this little area right down in here. I just feel like this needs to have a little deeper of an orangey yellow color. And I feel like goldenrod might be our good base color to get that in with. Okay, so there's that. Then also there's a little skinny line right here, and it's actually a little flip. So I'm going to come in here and get that really lighter. That's with number 1012. Just really getting that line in. And see, now it makes it look like where it's flipped up a little bit. Okay, somehow I missed that the first time. And then I can do this side of it also lighter. Okay. Let's see, what else do I need to correct as we start in again? I know we had just finished up on this petal here, but I just wanted to go ahead and hit some of this. Just needed to be deepened a little bit. I just felt like it was awfully light, and whereas I am heavy-handed, I still need to make my darks darker and my lights lighter. So I'm just coming in and adding a bit. Okay, we just don't want it to be too light colored. All right, so now then, let's come over and look at this one. The only problem with breaking this up into sessions is you might forget what you did on one piece that you need to repeat on the other. Now, we had already done this area. Okay, we had put in that shading. We did that with the, what is that? Grade lavender. So then let's move in, and I know we did a little bit of yellow here. Let's go ahead and get some white in here. I'm thinking we did not do that yet, and we do need a little bit of white to go down to transition us between the purple and the white. It will help our, and I think I already did some here, it looks like. It will help our yellow not to look muddy when we start putting that purple on. And I'm just going to go ahead and go into that. Okay. So let's get this down. Now we can go ahead and bring some more of those yellows on out and into this. I know we started with the jasmine, it's the 1012, because we want this to be getting a little bit lighter as it comes out. And then not as much comes out on this side of this particular photo that I took. Okay, multiple layers. Better to do multiple layers and not push down all the tooth on the paper at one time, because once you've pushed all that tooth down, you're not going to be able to add very much more color, and then you're stuck. All right, so there's that. Now let's start going with our lighter purples, and I don't want to use that grade lavender again. We're going to skip over and grab, let's see, I've got multiple colors here. Let's grab this one, 956, the lilac. And we're just going to come in, and this is going to be our transition color from the white and yellow mix over into purple. And you notice, okay, I'm going to turn this. This is ridiculous. You're going to be turning yours too, because it's just easier to color this way. what we're doing is we are overlapping that white that we just did and coming in here, and this is our transition purple that's going to be going from the light to the dark, because we are going to get darker as we come out here, although not totally dark. This is one of the lighter varieties that I had taken a picture of. There was a whole flower box of them. They were so cute. Okay, now I know this is not blended. We're not worried about that yet. Okay, then we're going to go from this one. Let's see, this was lilac. Let's move into using Parma Violet, which is 1008. Just lightly here, because we want to leave enough room for one more color to sneak in there. So we're going to keep it light, keep it narrow. Now here we can start to lengthen those strokes a little bit. Okay, turn your paper so that it's easier for you to work on it. It's like in my painting classes, I tell my students, turn your canvas. Unless you plan on eventually painting on walls, you can turn your surface. Now, if you plan to do walls, like I did my kids' bathroom when they were younger, then yeah, you can't turn that. You're going to have to learn to paint it, or learn to stand on your head when you're painting it on the wall. So just think about what you plan on doing and turn it as you can. Okay, several light coats, still going the direction around that petal is coming out at. Okay, so that took care of that one. Let's go to Violet 932. I know that looks quite a bit darker, so what you're going to need to do is really be careful when you first start with this, because it can be very dark and overpowering all at once, and you don't want it to overpower. So just come in, trying to figure out how to place this pencil so you can actually see what I'm doing. I try to be very conscious of where my hand is so that you can see what's going on. I've watched too many videos just on various things where their hand is like right here and you're like, wait a minute, what are they doing? So I really try not to do that. In fact, let's turn this. See, light touch. I'm holding it way back here so that I cannot bear down and get too much pressure all at once. But I am wanting to deepen this up and to blend it. Yeah, some of you are noticing I'm already back to my circles. I just blend better with circles. Now when I'm doing some of this, I wanted those long lines. But when I'm up here at the edge, I just do a whole lot better with circles. Okay. Just keep going. And then I'm going to come out some, because see how there's a line right there? That's not good blending, okay? So on your second pass through, see how I'm making it go away? You just go a little lighter, and it's going to blend in, and it will disappear. See? See how that line went away there? And keep doing the same thing now. Make that line go away. This is not a fast process. We're already almost 10 minutes in, aren't we? Yep, almost. There we are, 10 minutes. So take your time. And see, that time I did the wide first, and then I'm coming back in and getting my little spots. It's personal preference, and everybody learns and does differently. So you're going to find out what works for you, and then that's what you'll do. Don't worry about what works for everybody else. We're not concerned about everybody else. We're merely concerned with what works for you. Let's face it, in this video, it's all about you. You're worth it. Okay, now, even though this grows coming out this way, I am going to go this way because I've got a lot of white. Can you see all the white that's still in there? And I need to get rid of some of that. So I am going to go the other direction just to get the pencil shoved down in those white areas. And then I'll still come out slightly and getting lighter as I come out. So you can hear me coloring here, but then as I come out, the sound gets less and less. Can you tell? You may hear my hand drag on the paper more than you hear the pencil. Just turn it however you need to be able to get to that. And I'm really liking this with the softness that it has because a lot of those lines have disappeared. Really liking that. When you're doing something in grayscale, make sure that you're spending the bulk of your time on whatever is the main feature of that page. So if it's a page that has a dog or a cat or a house in it, and that's your focal point, be sure that the bulk of your time is spent on that area of that page so that it's really what's highlighted. Yeah, that right there I'm not real happy with yet, but it's okay, we're not done with it. Now I'm going to come in here, and I'm holding it a little further down so I have more control, and I'm going to get these little ruffly edges back in. Just making sure that these edges are really done nice. Why would we spend all this time on really trying to do this and then not finish it off on the edges? Pansies have little ruffly edges, and we want to capture that. I know y'all think I just wait till that clock's fixing to go off. Some of you are wondering why I don't just move it to another room. Nope, this is the room for it. That clock was inherited, and it's in a room that's got a bookcase, floor-to-ceiling bookcase that my dad made, that he built, and it holds a lot of family heritage stuff in it. So, and now that I've seen this, I want to go back and deepen this one some. So now remember, this was lighter because the light's coming in at it. So I don't want to deepen it a whole lot, but I do want to deepen some of this. And get those edges. But yeah, that clock goes off at some of the weirdest times. Well, okay, it goes off on the hour, but some of the weirdest times of when I'm doing videos, or if I'm teaching a painting class, or if I have a customer in the front room for showing them a painting, you know, and then everybody's like, oh, what's that, your doorbell? No, it's a clock. But, I mean, we sleep through it. We've gotten used to it. It wasn't here when my kids were younger, so they're still, every now and then, when they come to visit, Mom, that's just not natural. Or, we're not used to that sound. Yeah, I know. Still getting used to it myself. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go back to the shade that we had before, that 1008. And it may take me the whole 30 minutes just to get these two the way I want them. But you know what? If it's the way I want them, it's going to be so well worth it. So now I'm blending in from this lighter color into that darker color. I think I'm going to go back to my lines, because pansies do have those lines. If you've not done a pansy in a while or seen one, well, maybe you shouldn't pop up a video, an image. It might not look as bad as mine does. It may make mine look really bad. But anyway, no, I was going to say pop up an image and look at it to see how the color goes. But see, this is just so much smoother now since I've come in with that darker purple. It's almost like it gave that pansy some personality. But some pansies are very streaky. Some are not. Some look so dark that they look black. Just all the different pansies have, like I said, it's almost like they've got a personality. Some of them are so different than others. But I'm just taking that purple and getting more color on the page. Take time doing the blending. This is the focal point of the page. If you feel like you have to rush through something, let it be the background. Don't let it be this part of your page. Any person that loves pansies will tell you that that very first one, that's your focal point, that's the one that matters. Get it right. All right, so now I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to pick up the white. We're going to do some of the blending back and forth like we did on this one. Do you remember? Just back and forth with that white. Directional. Be intentional. Go the direction that the leaf came out, or the petal. Let's see, as I come in there, see how it's streaking for us? That's a very natural streak. Your pencil is going to do a lot of that for you and just help. Yeah, see how I'm getting a worn edge? Sometimes you'll drag that purple around, so be careful not to streak it too much into your yellow to where it muddies it. But yeah, this pansy was from yellow to a white to a purple. It's one reason I put it in the center of my photo, was because it was so different. It was really cool looking. See, and I'm just going back and forth, and that's how I'm getting that good streak. Okay? What do you think? And we haven't done anything to this or this. Now this piece on my photo actually has a little bit of that purpley gray there. It was the grayed lavender. And then white here. And I want this white to be brilliant white right there. And then just pull a little bit of that in. Okay, just pulling some of that color in, but still having that brilliant white section. Okay, you've just finished your first pansy. Ta-da! All right, we are at 21 minutes. So I would say at this point, we can go ahead and work on another piece. Let me get this turned around. I have plastic sheets underneath just to give me a surface. I believe I started with this like this. So these right here, let's look at them. That yellow that we picked up, the goldenrod, 1034. I'm going to come in here and just do down in here. Okay, this petal is kind of coming out. This one's coming up. And so on this one, we're actually going to be seeing some of the edge. It's going to be a lot of white on that, just because of where it landed on that petal. But we want to get this in the yellows. All around that dark. Okay. This one is going to have just a little bit right here to show some depth. And then this is going to be light. This will be light. This is another petal that's coming out and has fallen down a little bit. So there's actually a little bit there, and it's coming this way. I'm not going to put a lot of this on there because we're going to change to the lighter yellow. Actually, we're going to put some lighter yellow and then go to white and then go to our purple. The other part that I really see, this one, this whole petal, almost the whole thing right here is going to be a little different. But it's going to be this goldenrod color. We're going to not do that little area. And when you print off your sheet and you go back and rewatch this and color along, you'll see that little area that I'm speaking of. Okay, and then there's a white line right here. It's a very crisp white line. Don't do it either. Okay. But just get this all in. It's a very, very deeper, for lack of any other word, yellow. And then we're going to have a little bit of purple here on the edge. This one right here, now this is folded up, but this is what's behind. This is also that deeper yellow. This is going to have a little bit of deeper, but just right here. Okay, and some of the rest of this will have yellow, but not as much. So, all right, we're at 25 after. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to watch the time. so that we don't go over and actually miss anything. Let's look over at this side real quick. Let's put some of the deeper in here again. Okay. Up and around. Some of that might have some white on the very edge where it's curled. This is a different yellow here. This is like some muddied yellow. This is part of the background. So we're just going to put in a little bit in here. This is all going to be blurry, so it's really not as important in the realm of getting this picture finished. But I do want you to see that it is got some of those yellows in there. Okay, this one down here, this one is also going to be some of this deep. Okay. There's a little fold there. And these two are overlapped, but they are so close in color, and with the light coming in the way it does. Okay, so that's going to be like that. All right, and then we'll get another yellow going out here before we transition to white, so we want it a little more feathery there. There's not much yellow in this at all. There's going to be a little bit of the lighter yellow, but that's it. This one over here, I know it's darker, but this actually has a lot of the yellow in it. Just go around the darkest spots on there. This is really going to be about all we do to this one. It's down underneath a lot of other flowers and foliage, but it is still in that yellow family. But we're not going to need to do much more shading to that piece. Like I said, it's got some of that yellow, but by the time you cover the grayscale area, it's already pretty well the color that we want it to be in the finished part, which is very unusual. Okay, so there's that. Let's see, what else do I want to do? I'm going to do this over here, and then some of this is going to start blending in with the background too, where it gets fuzzy and you can't see the outlines. It's just going to blend in. Okay, some of this over here is darker. There's a petal that comes down over the top right there. And this is going to fade into something else, so we're going to do it loosely there so that we'll be able to fade. Okay, let's just finish this area up right here, and then we're going to stop until we have time to get on with the next video. Okay, now you can rewatch these if you've been thinking, I don't want to purchase the page, I'll just watch. Okay, that's fine. Just know that you'll learn more if you're actually doing it. And the page is $1.50, so up to you. All right, we're going to stop here for this time, and I will see you back in a little bit, and we'll get started on another part.